Hello, everyone, and welcome to Exoconscious Inform. We're offering you today a brief discussion on the eclipse on April 8th, 2024, and the significance of it for our Exoconscious community. Please like or subscribe on our Exoconscious YouTube. And Yvonne Donaldson is going to bring in some information about the eclipse on really a hyperdimensional level, coming in from a lot of different areas of information that she's brought together as a person that channels earth energies. And we're joined by Nick Prestera, Kevin Briggs, Aurora Wtipil, and Karin McLeod. And Yvonne, please tell us about April 8th.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And today is we're at the end of March, so we're in an eclipse portal, so to speak. And what I'd like to share today is actually backing it up to the lunar eclipse that we just had on Monday, March 25th. An eclipse portal has, in looking at this particular eclipse portal relating to the total solar eclipse on April 8th, the March 25th lunar eclipse, it was just a partial prenumbral, wasn't seen across the world. It wasn't a full-on total lunar eclipse, but it was the pathway, it was the gateway into April 8th. I could feel something was very significant about this, although it was kind of nebulous. I couldn't really put my finger on it. I'm happy to share what an astrologer, cosmic navigator, Natasha K. Aloha, shared in a group while we were in meditation looking at this. And what she discovered is that the lunar eclipse, the gateway into this total solar eclipse, was conjunct the supergalactic center. So the supergalactic center is, if you're interested in it, you can look it up, and there's information by Philip Sedgwick online that's really good information. But just to give you some kind of relationship to what the supergalactic center is, we have the center of our galaxy, the center of the Milky Way galaxy. And if you go through that and go out into the greater universe, you come across lots of other, cosmic beings, so to speak. And there is a supergalactic center that is so large that it's actually magnetizing many, many, many other galaxies towards its center. And so it is really a massive cosmic anomaly. And the elegance of the universe has this energy coming in through our galactic center and activating our lunar eclipse. So this is information that's coming from far, far, far away, literally galaxy far, far away. But it's coming in and it's helping to open up the time streams, the timelines, the potentiality, the connection, the communication between all of life, really. So it seems like a lot. It is a lot. It is also showing us the deep still within part of this interpretation, because it's a lunar eclipse, which means that it's a reflection of the sun. And maybe some of you have been tracking it or have noticed that there have been many, many solar flares happening now. And we are at a solar maximum for this 11-year cycle, but it's all so perfectly timed, if you will, that the supergalactic center is opening up all these new possibilities to go deep within, so that when the solar eclipse does go into full swing on April 8th, we are able to really make some quantum leaps and quantum jumps into spaces within ourselves that we hadn't even maybe considered possible. So for those of you or those of us who are interested in really receiving, it's a time of, quieting down, of really slowing down, of really going within and getting information such as this. And yeah, that's all nice data, but what does it mean to you individually? How does your biofield interpret this information? How are you feeling? What intuition is coming forth within you? What changes are happening in your life? What's hard? What's easy? Just really take inventory of what's going on within. And then when we move closer into the April 8th eclipse, which will be a whole other energy, we'll be more prepared. So this is really walking through the entryway into April 8th at this point. And that's what I have to share at this point. So this supergalactic center is gifting us with all kinds of information of how to go within ourselves to really access that information that we as souls have brought here and have chosen these bodies, these lineages, this DNA, what is waking up within ourselves so that we can step into the sunlight as it's being eclipsed on April 8th and really sort of surrender to what it is that our soul has queued up for us at this time.
Yvonne, what are you picking up about what's happening with, for example, CERN? There's talk of CERN going back online April 8th. I don't know the accuracy of that, but what's going on just from that kind of scientific material 3D perspective of what the Earth is experiencing?
Yeah, that's a good question. So energies like that and agendas that would like to jump in the middle of an organic cosmic event and siphon off the energy or distort it or try to control it in any way is really just showing more of what their consciousness level is. And we can make, again, that discernment choice of whether we'd like to join them on that journey or not. It's really not about good versus evil or right versus wrong. It's about what are you here for? And energies that would like to divide and conquer and to create more chaos, when really this energy that is coming in is helping us to order and organize new timelines, new possibilities, new technologies that do no harm, communication with interdimensional, extraterrestrial, our galactic family. So it's really being able to look at those agendas and stay neutral and calm and grounded and just bless it and let it go. And I notice that there are other types of messages and things that want to jump in the middle and distract us from simply just being in alignment with whatever that supergalactic center and whatever the solar energy eclipse has for us individually. And from there, we can move forward.
Anybody else have any questions or comments?
Since we're on the CERN topic, I think I mentioned this to Rebecca, and I would like to put it out there for anybody else that there seems to be happening a lot of something on a quantum level there that we are not aware of. And it is part, at least this is what I've been feeling and thinking or intuiting, it's part of why we are hearing and seeing more things. I mean, I'm just going to put it out there because whoever might be listening is well aware of, say, the Las Vegas incidents, say, the information of Miami. There's a lot of hype right now about some of these sightings that are not nuts and bolts anymore. That's been going on for 80 years. We've been seeing stuff in the sky for so long. And even some of the stuff in Peru, there's a lot of talk about, beings that are manifesting. And this is kind of a new thing that we've had talk for a long time about craft. But for the regular population to be inquiring and seeing other beings, whether it's confirmed or not, and filming, and, I keep coming back to, if it is in fact true, I feel like the CERN might have something to do with the dimensions that we're accessing or opening. And I would like to hear anybody else's take on that.
I can chime in here. So when you bring that in, Spirit will use every opportunity for growth and evolution. So if there's something that CERN is producing that can actually have a positive effect unwittingly, then so be it. Those of us that are living in our bodies in this lifetime, we get to interpret and take these information in and shift it and open it in whatever way we want to. So that's a really good point. There can be unintended negative effects, and there can be unintended positive effects as well. So again, we're back to how are we functioning within our own consciousness? How are we functioning within our own interdimensional space to be able to tap into what would be a more positive situation rather than something that's filled with more divide and conquer? So
Or fear.
really good point. Or fear. Yeah.
Do you have a comment, Nick?
I don't really. I think everybody's kind of on the mark here. I mean, I guess one of my favorite quotes is everything is always the way it's supposed to be. And I'm not sure where I got that from, but it holds water for me all the time. And so I think that here we are in the middle of what's taking place. We apparently were all intended to be here at this time. And I think part of the fun of it is that we don't know everything. It keeps getting revealed to us as this goes on. So that's all I got to say about it.
Well, I want to just mention that we're on a timeline that is parallel to another timeline, and we've been told that individually and collectively by contact sources, council. So if we are continuing to create a timeline with massive energies co-creating, we have information about the void, how to create, what does all of this mean? A lot of scientific information and spiritual or esoteric. And I love what Rebecca put out this week because it's going to be both. But as we continue to co-create in something that's much more revelatory, the other timeline doesn't fall behind. It runs alongside of it. And so if you think they're also creating something, it's going to be equally revelatory. And rather than one hanging back and going, okay, we're not going to do anything, nothing's going to be revealed, they're going parallel. And as they accelerate, each one, this is why I brought up the CERN and possibilities of dimensions and portals. We're hearing more and more about that and what might be coming through. It's not always benevolent. So we've got these timelines, and part of what we do is create an opportunity and path for people who want to be on this one.
Kevin and Aurora, do you want to comment?
Yeah, I could say something in relation to CERN itself. I don't know, I just suspect that they're opening up portals. And with that energy, as Yvonne says, negative energy can come through as well as positive. So really, it's how we use those energies that do come through. But it's interesting how they're using the Earth energies, the galactic energies, the universal energies at the same time as opening up their portal, if it is indeed a portal. And I'm almost certain that it is, but I don't know for a fact. So, yeah, very interesting. And the fact that I know the Council of Eight said that we will be showing you more and more craft. So you will get used to seeing us, and you also lose that fear. So clearly that's happening because we're getting these reports, as Karin said, from general members of the public. We're seeing these craft, filming them, and that's most unusual, but coincides with what the Council of Eight said in relation to showing us more and more craft. It's all connected, as we know, because everything's energy anyway. So, but interesting how the scientists at CERN are linked to the energies of the Earth and the universe and the energies that control everything. So, yeah.
Aurora?
Well, I am going to second what Yvonne was saying earlier about what this galactic, supergalactic center is doing, because my meditation has changed. In fact, just this morning, I was meditating and I was able to actually recognize my core center, if you will, my core vibration as, like the center of the onion with all the other fluff removed. Why am I here? Which is exactly what Yvonne was talking about. It's like, why are you here? And being able to answer that question specifically in vibrational form. It's like I could feel why I'm here. But Yvonne is so much better at verbalizing this stuff than I am. She's got the vocabulary and the wherewithal to put it together, where this is all very new for me. But I am experiencing what she's describing. I am experiencing it in meditation. And my meditation has been getting more intense this week, especially. I've noticed. I didn't even know. I totally forgot about the eclipse on Monday, the moon on Monday. And I'm like, what's going on this week? And then you guys brought it up. It's like, okay, now that explains some things. So yeah, it is definitely happening. I'm experiencing it in meditation. And it's a good thing. I'm enjoying it. It's great. A lot of light, at least from my perspective. That's what I'm experiencing. I'm experiencing a lot of light and understanding of who and what I am, and a lot of self-acceptance, and a lot of very, very positive experiences, and changes in perspective of, how I see myself and how I perceive myself. And I think that's very helpful for everyone. I really hope that everyone will take advantage of this wave of energy and, pick whichever side they feel they resonate with. For me right now, it's light.
It's interesting because this past weekend, there was a lot of solar activity that was directly hitting the Earth too. So you want to comment on that, Yvonne? Because that's been...
Yeah, it's still hitting. I have a little app now. You can get an app and you can get alerts of like how strong the solar or geomagnetic storm or the solar flare is. I find that interesting.
Do you want to give the app?
Is it Space Weather Live?
Could be.
That's what I have,
Yeah,
and that's what I get.
That's
There
what
you
I
go.
have.
So space, there you go. So that's
Okay.
a good one. There is one other thing, since we began with looking at the April 8th eclipse and sort of broadened out to look at the whole portal and portals being opened both cosmically, organically, and other ways. Again, this came from astrologer Natasha K. Aloha when she was doing her research into this, and it has to do with the Pluto placement. So we're going to come in a little bit closer to home. We were way out in the galactic, super galactic center, and now coming back to our solar family here, just to give you some kind of perspective of how large our family is, our solar family. So Pluto is a very powerful energy in our solar system. All planets are. But really has to do with going deep into the underworld, into the unconscious, and bringing things forward. And our country, the United States here, is having a Pluto return. So when the paperwork that put this country together, Pluto was in a certain point in the sky and has made a complete revolution around the sun. So that's a Pluto return. This particular eclipse portal is conjunct Pluto in such a way that it will not repeat again for 44 years. So for 20 years. So in 2044, Pluto will be again give us sort of another experience of being in these energies, not exactly the same way. But to me, what struck me, my interpretation of that was that's a generation. 20 years is a generation. So we have this opportunity to really go deeply into what do we love? Who do we love? What are we here for? It's not just the next generation coming in. It's the elders. It's every generation that's alive here. How would you like to live your life for the next 20 years? Would you like to continue more divide and conquer, more struggle, more suffering, more weird technologies that are doing harm? Or would you like to just simply open to a 20-year process of unfolding beautiful, wonderful, loving connections with the cosmos and with each other? So that struck me as something to really have some, meat and potatoes, if you will, or if you're vegan, your vegan options of what nourishes you, to really look at your own life for the next 20 years. How would you like to be? What would you like to offer? What would you like to receive? And let that be a communication with Earth, with your spiritual team, with the ones you love. Sing it, say it out loud, dance it, however you want to bring it into this world. Have that knowing and that potential that what you say and what you bring into the world matters, and you are co-creating. And who knows, there may be so many others doing something similarly, singing it into the earth or saying it to the sky. We can, as a group, without even knowing exactly when or where, how it all goes together, there is an elegance that collects these frequencies and creates these plasma flows, if you will, where the potential for love to really incarnate in a deeper way to happen here. So
thank you.
Yeah.
So just to wrap up somewhat, I just want everyone to know that our website is exoconscioushumans.com, humans plural. And everyone who spoke today, their bios are up, as well as That's the astrologer Natasha that Yvonne was referring to. So you can go there and find information. Karin referenced the timeline. So we are building an exoconscious timeline. And one of the things about building a timeline is to be open to new language like exoconsciousness, to be open to new language, new ways of looking at what can we build, what can we co-create with this galactic center, with these beings that we haven't really talked about before and haven't really put it into language, or as Aurora said, put it into some kind of a light being, because we're anchored in a language that is in a timeline that maybe isn't going to fit as we move into these other sectors of the galaxy. So thank you, everybody, and exoconscioushumans.com. Thank you.